arresting those behind the destruction of campaign billboards in the state. Mr. Afingesi made this call while speaking on the number of his campaign billboards that have been destroyed by supporters of the ruling party in the state.
Commissioner of Police Rivers State made during that parley with the political parties. The time has come for the commissioner to stand by his words, investigate these complaints, and make sure you bring those responsible to book. And when that happens, it might just slow down destruction of political materials of the political parties. So we are advising the State Police Command to do everything within their powers to make sure that there is no violence.
Well, the ADP governorship candidate, who also outlined the areas his billboards have been damaged, called for violence-free campaigns and elections in the state.
Destroying political parties' billboards is not the best. Time for campaigns are here, and every political party who is participating in the election must be allowed to campaign. We are complaining. We've reported to the Commissioner of Police. We have 2 billboards in Port Harcourt that were destroyed. One on Tombia Street, GRA Phase 2. The other one on Aba Road between GRA Junction and Waterlines. One in Elele Alimini, and the last one in Tai Local Government area.
Well, Victor Afingesi also spoke on the recent executive orders and urged the different political parties in the state to forge a common front and vacate them.
I have approached some of the candidates, those who are my friends. I've said to them, we must come together. And I don't think an executive order can override the constitution of this country. The truth is that when once an order has been signed, it becomes an order of the state. And I think that the parties and their candidates need to come together right now and do everything within their powers that is within the law to vacate that order.
Meanwhile, the chairman of Okrika local government area, Akuro Tobin, has denied using thugs to disrupt a political gathering at the residence of former Minister of Transportation, Dr. Abiye Sekibo. Mr. Tobin, at a media briefing, condemned the flagrant disobedience of the Executive Orders 21 and 22 by Dr. Sekibo in the area. He said the action of Dr. Sekibo is capable of causing a crisis in the area. Well, he also maintained that nobody, no matter how highly placed, will be allowed to flout the laws of the state.
I never use thugs to go to his house to disrupt whatever is in there. I'm so ashamed for the caliber of Chief Dr. Abiye Sekibo, who said that he will not obey any executive order by the Rivers State government. I will say he's getting prepared to create chaos, to create anarchy in the Okrika government and in Rivers State.
Well, the Okrika council boss, Honorable Akuro Tobin, also advised the people of the area not to allow themselves to be used to destabilize the existing peace in the area.
Everyone must obey this law and be ready to face the full weight of the law. It's not about who to vote or not to vote, Atiku. You must not use your privilege to inconvenience other people. Obey the law and let's live in peace. Why didn't he go and rush Atiku's campaign at the state quarters? It's at the state quarters. He just came with people from outside. Look at my friend Dr. Mbobasa. He said he's a spokesman. Why didn't he take the campaign or the launching of Atiku to his place in Kana local government? Why Okrika? And I'm calling on the public to disregard whatever Dr. Mbobasa have said. Okrika is for years of wiki.
In the meantime, the National Security Advisor, Major General Babagana Monguno, has warned state governors employing the use of thugs to prevent opposition from mounting campaign materials in their domains that security agencies will soon descend on them. Anchoring the ministerial briefing at the State House today, he further warned that there will be no hiding place for the perpetrators when the law enforcement agencies take steps. The NSA, who was reacting to reports of state governors implementing policies that prevent the presence of opposition campaign materials in their states, blamed the action on what he called inferiority complex. In another development, Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike has taken a swipe at the Minister of State for Budget and National Planning, Clement Agba, over his comments that state governors are to be blamed for the rising poverty cases in the country. Well, Governor Wike, during the commissioning of the Rumodogo 1 and 2 link roads in Emoha local government area today, disassociated himself from the governors that have not performed in their states.
The time has come for Rumodogo to be remembered. The time has come that people must know a community for Rumodogo. And today is their day. And you have to tell them, you will pay them back with your PVC card. You will pay them back for the suffer they get to you.
Our correspondent Emeka Otuka reports that the high point of the event was the governor gifting his suit and his hat. President Muhammadu Buhari has indicated that governors steal from local government council allocations. The president, who spoke after an event at the State House in Abuja, said personal integrity is fundamental in the operations of government. He recalled an instance of how a state governor will receive allocation on behalf of council areas in his state only to remit half of such allocation to the council chairman. He said such actions portrayed the sort of corrupt practices that are now symptomatic of Nigeria. Still ahead, Uniport holds convocation tomorrow. Stay tuned.
Yeah, there we go.
Aisha Buhari is to testify against a student of the Federal University, Dutse, Jigawa State, Aminu Adamu, for alleged defamation. Mr. Adamu was alleged to have published a defamatory statement on his Twitter handle against Mrs. Buhari. Well, the tweet was posted on June 8, but Mr. Adamu was arrested on November 18 at Dutse, Jigawa State, and brought to Abuja. Well, the police say the alleged offense borders on defamation and cyber stalking. The leadership of the National Association of Nigerian Students, NANS, say they will go on a nationwide protest on Monday to demand the release of Aminu Mohammed. The management of the University of Port Harcourt says 161 students of the institution bagged first-class honours within the 2018-2019 and 2019-2020 academic sessions. The Vice-Chancellor, Professor Wunari George Will, said this during a press briefing to announce the 33rd convocation of the institution. Well, Professor George Will said the 161 first-class graduates were part of over 9,000 students for bachelor's degrees in various disciplines within the two academic sessions. He described the planned convocation as classic.
We are expecting to graduate about 9,536 first degree, bachelor degrees about 9,536, out of which 161 obtained the first class honors. We are also expecting to convocate about 9,699 postgraduate degrees and diplomas. About 1,028 are PhDs.
Professor George Will commended the governing council of the university for not failing in the mandate given to them. While the Vice-Chancellor of the university also said the university has improved in the area of infrastructure and learning through the collaboration of relevant government agencies and public-spirited individuals.
When we came on board, we also have issues with professorial promotions that sometimes get delayed because of one challenge or the other. We ensure that we took those challenges to council, and council approved for us to straighten out the process so that issues of professorial promotion will be better handled than how it has been. Career structure of this university has been in the pipeline for years. We ensure that that career structure, and council has also approved that career structure.
Our correspondent reports that the convocation, which began today with a lecture, will climax with the main event, which is the award of degrees and honors on Saturday in the university campus. As the world marks AIDS Day, a mother of 3 living with HIV in Rivers State has shared how joining a support group helped her through her journey. The 46-year-old trader, who now volunteers as a counselor at a primary health care center in the state, spoke on how she first found out she was infected.
The first time when I noticed my status, 2005, when I get my first belle, my doctor, because of the proper counseling wey he give me, tell me wetin dey involved. So the doctor come tell me that time, because I no dey on drugs, make I no breastfeed. So I no breastfeed. Now that my baby is 17 years, all the children wey I get 3, all of them dey negative. So I can't join myself with the network. So I can't learn plenty things wey me and they even come out, they teach others for health center where they carry me keep.
Well, she regretted that so many people still think HIV is a death sentence.
Another thing where government go fit do, make them stop discrimination. Be say maybe sometimes as they announce for radio and as they talk for television, if you see person where get HIV, make you no discriminate that person, because if you know they infected, if the thing know they your blood, if you dey your brother, if you dey your sister, if you dey that person where you love well, so it don't affect you for one way or the other. And make government put law, make discrimination no dey, because that discrimination is the key pass the sickness self, because this sickness self, you know, the key as we been they think before.
World AIDS Day 2022 is being marked today with the theme Equalize. In business, the Nigerian midstream and downstream petroleum regulatory authority has cautioned petrol marketers to stop hoarding petrol. The warning comes amid the biting petrol scarcity experienced in some parts of Nigeria. The agency, in a statement, also said there is no plan to increase the price of petrol.
And now we bring you news from around the world.
Spain has stepped up security after revealing that a number of letter bombs have recently been sent to high-profile targets, including the Prime Minister. On Wednesday, an employee of the Ukrainian embassy in Madrid was slightly injured when a similar device exploded. Officials say the defense minister was among the other targets, but it is thought the bombs could be linked to Spain's support for Ukraine, but no one has claimed to have sent them. And that's the news. But before we go, another look at the highlights of the story. On the news this evening, you heard that an autopsy will be conducted on late social media influencer Yemi the Plug. Okrika Council chairman has denied using thugs to disrupt political gathering at the residence of Dr. Abiye Sekibo. The National Security Advisor has warned governors against obstructing opposition campaigns. Nigeria's First Lady Aisha Buhari will testify against the university students accused of defaming her. On the foreign scene, Spain has stepped up security after letter bombs were sent to high-profile targets. The news was edited by Martha Okere. Cloudy weather in Port Harcourt this evening. Collect your PVC and vote. Your vote is your voice. I'm Constance Mega. Thank you so much for listening. Good evening.
Nigeria Info.